Hi there. We're finishing up the Bach Brandenburg Concerto on the simplicity of thinking, the free energy, the pairing with what is going on in Bach's mind, and our brain has abilities to pair with the structure and the thought processes through great genius level music. This is big. So that is a very specific, very high level example of how healthy minds can be structured and supported in thought processes. So when I go to something like the Brazil microcephaly, which is extremely complex and no one else is doing this work, and I just keep following it because where there's causation, all you're going to find is evidence. So I have to think through every little piece of evidence. I'm doing it by myself. And so I'm like, whoa. It's like Bach's music has taught me that thinking can be done on a free energy ride. So music is free energy. I have networks and habituated the ability to follow a line, one of his complicated lines. And these pieces don't stop with the line that I keep repeating. It's just the beginning. And it goes almost gives you a little playtime after this first long, or you're going to get rewarded for following. It goes a really long time and you're following it. Wow. And then you get rewarded and your system remembers that reward. Dun, 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 bum, 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 pa-da-dum, bum, pa-da-dum. So you get a little playtime actually in the music, and that's B.F. Skinner, behaviorism. I'm finishing up an applied behavioral analysis certificate this fall. You get rewarded for that thought processes. So when something new comes up with the Brazil microcephaly, I can go, oh my gosh, that's got to connect with what's going on over there. What do I have to do to make that connect? I don't get anxious because my ability to focus and concentrate has been rewarded through all of this great music. Okay, let's talk about another great piece of music. Mozart's K448 that stops epilepsy in comatose patients, in children, in adults. It helps children focus. It improves attention. It improves all sorts of functional outcomes. I mean, there's all sorts of science on K448. And that's about all they say about it, K448. Someone finally sent me a systematic review of this piece, and I thought, you know what? I've been so busy doing my vocal work and all of my programming that I thought I might have to take a look at this piece and finally see what they're talking about, because they're not talking about it. And that's in our next video. I'm going to start a new video for this. Thank you for listening. Enjoy Bach's Brandenburg Concerto. You have no obligation to do anything with it. While they're playing, just have your coffee, make your lists for the day. It works very subconscious levels, but you have also permission to think, wow, that's amazing music. And I give you permission to understand and to, expose yourself to his music so that you can understand why he's the top person on all of these greatest genius lists that are ever made. If he's not there, it ain't a list. It's not a good... I mean, he is it. He's very, very, centuries renowned as the greatest genius, the greatest, if not the top 5 greatest geniuses ever. And we have access to that genius through his music. And this is how. This is just one tiny example. There's another one. Here's another one. Bach wrote that. Heartbeat, heartbeat. Taking you boom, 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 boom. It's relaxing. Boom, boom. It sinks down. Boom, boom. Da, dun, da, 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 da. Okay, and the melody. Da, da, la, it repeats and it has passing notes. So it very it lowers your, it gives you slow heart rate. And then it slow goes downward, right? And the melody, you see what I'm saying? So there are two things happening. There's several things. So heart rate, syncing the system, those different frequencies pull us, help us just to settle in our seat, relax, as it were. And then he extends this very simple melody into something. He just spins it out, and it's counterintuitive. Da, da, da. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 6, 4, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 3, 1, 6. You know, so there's playing with expectations, taking us to a place where we wouldn't expect to go. It's magical, and it plays with expectations. And he just knew how to provide that feeling. Bach knew how to write music so that your feeling, your physiology would change. It's about physiology, and that's heart rate, blood pressure, skin, muscle tone. Letting go of the head. Being in all this free energy so that you don't have to produce all this energy to maintain your posture and all this stuff. Music pairs with that, and it's about sound and resonance. Okay, I hope this makes more sense. I've been meaning to do this follow-up because it's more, I do have a form of synesthesia. I see someone who is in pain or suffering, and I can imagine the music that would change them. Bach had to do that too. He saw his congregation. They come to church. They come to, because they have needs. It's a bad world. Several hundred years ago, it was a bad world out there. People came to church with a lot of needs, a lot of confusion, and they needed to be settled, and that being settled is health. Being settled is still health. And we'll talk about that in another video. Thank you for listening. I'm going to go on to the next one, which talks about Mozart's K448, and it's in the same key. And in Mozart, you have dum 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 dum, ba-da-dum bum 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 bum. We'll get to that. I'll just do it very quickly. Thank you for watching and being with me today. Cheers. Be well.